Is it me you're looking for? I know you were looking for me, and I'm here. It's Tuesday. And welcome to Vessel of Hope. So glad that you're able to join us. Thank you all so much for joining, for being a part. I'm here to give you your Tuesday goodness, your Tuesday greatness, your Tuesday time to step away from what's going on in the world and what's going on in your day, just for us to have a conversation today. So thank you all so much for joining us on Vessel of Hope. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all coming on, taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part. Well, welcome. So you know what I need for you to do for me today? I need for those of you that are on Facebook, I need you to go ahead and give me a love. Do a love, but show me some love. Show me some love today. Do a love and do a share. Love and share. Love and share. And for those of you that are on YouTube, go ahead, go ahead, subscribe. Click the notification bar. And like I asked you the other day, 2 weeks ago, please go ahead, take the YouTube link, send it to someone, and tell them just subscribe, because you know they do a new thing. You have to have a certain amount of a YouTube subscription in order for them to keep you on. So go ahead, help a sister out, right? Help a sister out. You still want to see me, right? You want to see me on Tuesdays? Go ahead and do that for me. Thank you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Well, today we're going to talk about stop beating yourself up. Stop it. I like to tell the kids, I'm like, stop it. Stop doing that. Stop it. So stop beating yourself up. Have you ever done something that you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do that? You know, you should like, oh, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. You ever said something like, oh, why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. And what happens? You begin to beat yourself up on what you did and on what you said. So today we're going to have a conversation about beating yourself up and trying to get away from that, trying to navigate another avenue other than fighting yourself. You know, it's not good. You're not Bruce Lee. Prophetess guy, you're not Bruce Lee. You can't fight yourself. So don't do it. Don't do it, Prophetess Loretta. Don't beat yourself up, Sister BB. So we're going to talk about stop beating yourself up, right? You have to know sometime that, you know, one thing we got to kind of realize here is that we can hinder our own self, and you can be your worst enemy. You know that? I think we talked about this before. I said this before. That you can hinder yourself, that you can be your worst enemy. And it's true. And it's so true. You can hinder, you can, as you beat yourself up, you become your worst enemy. You hinder yourself from the things that you need. The Apostle was telling us yesterday in the prayer line. She says to us at 7:45. Those of you that don't know, click on it. You know, at 7:45, she was Apostle was sharing with us on the prayer line. Don't talk about the enemy. This is not him this week. Get him out your mind. Do your thing. Let God do his thing for you. And you know, and I'm guaranteeing somebody woke up this morning and I was already blaming Satan for the alarm clock not going off. You know what I'm saying? Because what? That's you beating yourself up. That's you automatically finding fault or flaw in something else, and the thing and your reaction and what you did and what you said. So you can become your own worst enemy, Prophetess Loretta. And how do we do that? By living in regret. We talked about this a while back. You beat yourself up by living in regret. You know, we talk about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Oh boy, we're not even gonna talk about that today, because there's a lot of shoulda, there's a lot of coulda, there's a lot of woulda, right? That you sit back and you ponders. We talk about when you did something, you think about it, or you said something, you think about it, and you beat yourself up. You should have did it differently. You should have said it differently, right? And I talk about this a lot. Fighting smart. You can be a smart fighter, right? You can be a smart fighter, fight for. And this is how I fight smart. I don't react right away. Because I used to be very reactive. You said something to me, boy, I'm ready. I'm barking out your throat real quick. But what I've learned throughout the years, as I've grown in age, I've learned that solves nothing. Because when I do that, when I react right away in an argument, I'm going, then I sit down and I'm like, oh, I should have said this. Oh, I should have said that. Oh, I shouldn't have said that piece. Oh, but I should add this in there. So now I fight smart. I stop and I think, stop, think, process. And I said, you know what? Nope, I'm not even going to respond. But I'm going to come to you later, though. I'm going to block you for now, and then I'll come for you later. I'm going to come later, and then I'm going to fight smart. Because what? Because now I'm processing. Now I'm thinking everything that I should say, so that I wouldn't regret it later on and say, man, I shouldn't have said that. I was a little too harsh. Oh, that was a little too mean. That's not good. So I fight smart. I think about it later. I let it marinate in my brains for a bit, and then okay, you know what? These are the points I want to get across to this individual for what they said or what they did or how this incident happened. But not in a way of I'm blaming you, I'm putting the blame on you. No, but I want you to know this is how it happened and this is how I saw everything transpire, or this is what you said and this is what I said and this is how it transpired, right? So you have to fight smart. That will help you to stop blaming yourself. Stop think process. That method, it works. Trust me, it works. I do it. It works. So you have to stop living in a place of regret. I should not have done that. I should not have said that. Well, you said it. I'm sorry to break it to you, Prophet Loretta, but you said it. I'm sorry to break it to you, Prophet Guy, but you did it. It's said. It's already said. It's already done. Now stop beating yourself up about it and move forward. That's it. You shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't have did it. You said it. You did it. Stop. Stop. Stop beating yourself. Stop knocking yourself out. Let's move forward. Let's try. I know it's hard. It's easier said than done. But let's try to move forward. Because sometimes some people can say some things that really just, it cut you. It cut you from all the way down, from your head all the way down to your toe. Like it cut you so hard, it becomes like a wound. You're just like, oh, that hurt. That hurt like nobody's business. But what? But we have to try. Try to move forward. Try to stop living in a place of regret, right? Beating yourself up. I'm gonna say it. Apostle said don't talk about it, but I'm gonna say it real quick. Beating yourself up is a form of is a trick of the enemy. And what is that? It's a trick of the enemy to keep you in a place that you are in. That place that you are in. And that place of regret, as we just talked about before. Because what? Sometimes it's not yourself. Sometimes it's just it's simmer in your brains, and the enemy bring that back to you like this and this and this. But in this week, as Apostle said, don't even think about that. Don't beat yourself up. Don't think about that. So it leaves you in a place of regret. It leaves you in a place of forgiveness, mainly of yourself. So you're living in regret when you beat yourself up. You're living in forgiveness, mainly of yourself, things that you have done. And it's so funny, Prophet Sharice. It's so funny sometimes. You are living in a place of unforgiveness of something you may have done or something someone may have done to you, and that person has moved on. You know what makes me more upset? Pardon me, my allergies not playing with me today. You know what upsets me? When someone know they did something to you and they're happy-go-lucky. Oh, it boils me up. It boils me up. Cause they come, hey, how you doing? Like, I can't believe they asking me how I'm doing today. When they done did this to me yesterday, they got the nerve to ask me how I'm doing today. They didn't even apologize to me. You over here sweating and huffing and puffing, and they done already moved on. This is why I love kids. This is why I love little kids. That's why the Lord said, come as a little child. You got to do it as a little child, because kids will forgive you in 1.2 seconds. They'll get over it. They move forward and they come back. You ever spank a child, and then like an hour later they come in and want to curl up and want to hug on you and mommy, I love you and this they're so caring, and you're sitting there, Prophetess Diaz, still mad. You still upset. You're still annoyed. When the kids are walking, you're still mad that they cut the power cord to your charger. You're still upset that they threw the flour all over the place. You're still upset that they done told your business to the teacher. All right? You're still upset, and the kids they got their spanking, they move on, they come and love on you, but you're still upset because you still haven't forgive their actions. So let's take it to an adult. Someone said something to you. They stabbed you in the back. You're still upset. That person has moved on. That person is trying to make amends. They're trying to make the slate clean. They're coming to you. They're trying to have a conversation. And you're still upset because what? Now you have unforgiveness. Oh, stop. Stop it. Stop it. Let that simmer away. Let it move away. Get out of your system. Try to move on from it. Because, I was talking to someone the other day. I think I was talking to someone the other day. I was watching a movie or something. Something I was doing. And then someone said this. Someone said, I don't want to die with the unforgiveness in my heart because I'm not gonna make it to heaven. I think it was a movie, and I was just like, wow, well, excuse me. And it wasn't like a religious movie, Sister Bassett. This person just threw this out there because they were just upset at something that happened. And I was like, wow. Imagine even a sinner man knows that they can be in a place of unforgiveness and it can still hinder them. So that's for somebody. Get that out your heart. Get that out your spirit. Stop beating yourself up to what somebody said, what somebody did, and try to move on from it. You already know. If you don't know, you know. that I'm a grudge holder. How hold? Listen here, sister. Oh, you hurt me. You hurt me. I didn't even try to talk to you. I didn't even try to see your face. Right? But it takes process for me. It takes a while for me, Evangelist Felita, to go through the process. Say, you know what? I need to release this person because I don't want to die today and still think about what this person did to me 5 weeks ago. And they move on, they're living, and they're doing their thing, and I'm over here. I'm like, I can't believe they got the nerve to be smiling right now. No, I had to learn. I had to learn that. And I'm not saying you forgive people and you still want to be best friends with them. That's not what I'm saying. Because you hurt me once, that's it. That's 10 strikes. One time hurt is 10 strikes. You out. You out. This baseball game is over. It's over. I used to be that way. You see, Sister Bassett? So you know what I'm talking about, Sister Bassett. You understand? I cut you off. We're done. But if I see you, I'll still be cordial. I've had to learn that. I've had to learn that. To still be cordial, to still be nice, to still be kind, to still have love for that individual. But know my limits, know my boundaries. No, we're not hanging out. No, don't call me. We're not hanging out. I don't want to hang out with you. Girl, remember the last time I told you something the whole village knew? I'm not going to do that. I'm not hanging out with you to tell you nothing and you're going to tell the whole village. I'm not doing that. Right, this guy? So you learn. And you say, you know what? Nope, I'm going to move away from the unforgiveness. Peel that out. That's really something that's really hard for a lot of believers, and a lot of believers think that they can have unforgiveness in their heart and still see Jesus. It ain't working like that. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debts. It's not working that way. Nope, I forgive you, but I'm disassociating myself from you. Again, I'll be cordial, I'll say hi and so forth, and blah, 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 blah. But I'm not doing it. I won't scandalize your name to no one else. I'll just be like, you just got to keep your eyes and ears open for that one over there. That's all I'm saying. So let's move on. Let's belittle that point of unforgiveness. We live in regret of unforgiveness of even of yourself. Some actions that you did. Some things that you did. Some things you said to people you shouldn't have said. Some ways you acted towards people that you shouldn't have acted. And you're still like, oh man, I really shouldn't have said that. I really shouldn't have did that. I really shouldn't have. You know what? Just go to that person and ask forgiveness. And I know. We're from what I see, we're strong women here. We have strong personalities. We're strong individuals. I'm not asking them to forgive me. I'm not gonna do that. Well, you know what? You go ahead. Now, when the trumpet of God sounds, see what's gonna happen on display. But on a serious note, we gotta release that and release it for yourself too, for yourself to be better. And we can even live in a place of beating ourselves up because of our failures, of the things that we did, but it didn't turn out right. The things that we said, but it didn't say right. And this is why I talk about this a lot. 30 to 40 years of hate disruption to your. Listen, Prophet Sparta, it's true. It's true. When you hold on to unforgiveness and you beat yourself up about it, we talked about this before, it causes sickness. You wonder why your blood pressure can't go down? Because you still holding on to what Paul did to you 10 years ago. I can't believe he left me for her. Paul is happily married now with his new boo. He got 3 kids. And you still over here wallowing about what Paul did. And Paul has moved on. You're not in Paul's mind. So you need to get Paul out of your mind. Because what happened? Your blood pressure going high. Your sugar can't regulate. And then what? It even leads you to depression. You're eating. Now you're looking like a balloon. Come on now. Or on the opposite spectrum. You don't eat. Now you're looking anorexic. Why? Because we hold on to things. We beat ourselves up on things. Oh, I should have never let him go. I should have never let him. Oh, no, I should have never. It's done. I know it's tough love. It's over. It's done. We have to find ways to move on. Stop beating yourself up. But you want God to forgive you. Oh, Prophetess Loretta! What's wrong with you? You right though. But you want God to forgive you of your sins. And that's something. Again, we're talking about believers. That's things with believers. They're always like, oh, I can't even forgive that person. I can't forgive. But then you're always like, God, I know. God, forgive me. If the Lord can forgive you, why is it so hard for you to forgive others? I'm preaching to myself too, because I can honestly say that's an easy pattern for me now to forgive individuals. It wasn't before. No, it was not. Catch me 15 years ago. I'm not playing that. We done. But now I forgive, I move on. and I set my boundaries. Forgive, move on, set your boundaries. Ooh, y'all on fire today, right? Forgive, move on, set your boundaries, right? Right, Sister Dennis? Forgive, move on, and set your boundaries. Okay, so let's move on. So when you keep yourself in this place, right, in the places I talked about before, in a place of regret, of unforgiveness, or of even failure, when you keep yourself in that place, you will not see yourself successful. You will not. You will not see yourself successful. You will not. Oh, you thought. Oh, oh, Sister Dennis? Dr. Dennis, Dr. Dennis. Hello, Dr. Dennis. How are you? No, this is Pastor Marcelle, Apostle Marlene Sampson, sister. I know. I know. This is what I tell people. The easier way to know who is who when you look at us, I'm the prettier one. Okay? I'm the prettier one. I'm just messing. But so we move on. So in order for you to get to that place of, listen, I have to forgive. I have to stop living in regret. I have to move forward. You have to now realize, hey, you know what? This is hindering my success. This is stopping me from making progress. This is stopping me from being seen in a positive light, like how others would see you. Sometimes you can see people like, oh, that person is really nice. That person looks so nice and looks so sweet, and you're like, oh no. Oh, you have a conversation like, oh boy, they deceive me with that look. Why? Because what? There's some things that they're holding on to, and we have to try to move past that. And again, let me just preface this and say, I'm all for counseling. I'm all for you seeing a therapist, psychiatrist, like whoever you need to see. I'm all about that, because as believers, we need to be well holistically. We need to be well internally. We need to be well mentally, not only spiritually. And this is what I think. This is just my thinking. I think sometimes individual can believe that they are so spiritually grown in the Lord that they neglect the natural things, like unforgiveness, like regrets, like the things that they're battling on the inside. No, we need to be well holistically, right? Just throw that out there, right? So stop beating yourself up. It happened. Now process and release yourself from it. Easier said than done. I know. I say it all the time. It is easier said than done. This is why you have to go through the steps, the stop, think, process. Again, if you need to go see professional help, go do what you need to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Go see who you need to see to make your way through, to get through it. But you have to stop beating yourself up about it. It happened. And I'm not talking about you beating yourself about you presumptuously doing something. That's a whole nother story. That's all, like those individuals, those mass murderers that plan to kill. So they go and they buy the gun. They go and they buy I love to watch these Dateline and these documentaries and things like that about people who have committed crimes and so on and so forth. And then they plan it out. And then the best part, this is always my favorite part. They'll Google how to hide a body, or Google how many X amount of pills to give this person for them to die, and all these other things. But I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about premeditated things that you have done. That's a whole nother spectrum. But I'm talking about mistaken things, or things that you did out of ignorance or out of lack of knowledge. But now you sit down and you said, oh, wow, that really wasn't a good thing to do. I should have really thought that through. So you have to forgive yourself. It happened, process, release yourself from it. Did you know that when you beat yourself up, it sometimes spews out? Oh, yeah. It sometimes spews out of you, Prophet Loretta. Did you know that when you beat yourself, it spews out? What's going on internally can belch out to others. And this is true. When you're feeling rejected, when you're feeling looked over, when you're feeling unloved, all these feelings, right? All these feelings I'm talking about. And again, we talked about this before. I don't like, oh, I felt this way. I think that's baby talk. That's teenage talks. When the kid's like, oh, I feel like you don't love me. You got a reassurance. But I love you. Come give me a hug. Give me a kiss. Let's go to McDonald's. Let's go to Burger King. I'll buy you something. Not Burger King. I don't do Burger King. Let's go to McDonald's. Let's go to Wendy's. Come, I'll buy you something. I'll treat you. Because you want them to feel love. You want them to feel that love. That's little kids. But I'm talking about the grown adults. Like, we're grown. We're grown individuals now, right? We're going into the golden age. Y'all, side note. This is side note. The other day, when Apostle's birthday, she got an envelope from AARP. I died. I laughed so hard. I didn't laugh in her face because I was like, oh, no, I can't do that because, But I laughed because I'm like, boy, they wait for you to hit a certain age and they just start sending that AARP. I know I'm gonna get mine soon. I'm like, oh, they coming for me too, But let's not. We're not going into the feelings. Oh, I felt this way. I'm feeling it. No, no. Again, that's little kids. That's little kids. That's teenager. You're adult. You're adult. Yes, you acknowledge your feelings. You deal with your emotions. But don't address someone. Be like, oh, I felt like when you looked at me that way, you were trying to say something. Stop. Stop that nonsense. That's nonsensicalness. You're too grown. You're too grown to say, I felt this way. You know what you need to do? You need, that's something that's inside of you. Maybe. Now you're in the club, Apostle. Yes, Brother Loretta. Maybe someone used to look at you that way, and you felt that now that everyone look at you this way, it's reflecting of how that person used to look at you when you were in trouble, or when you did something wrong, or when they were about to come spank you, or something. And again, you got to deal with that. You may have to see professional help, but not everyone look at you a certain way. Oh, I felt when you look at me that way, you would think, oh, come on. Or I felt when you said hi, how you said it like you didn't want to say it. Oh boy, let me tell you, that is definitely something wrong. That is definitely something wrong. And that's right, Dr. Dennis. You have to deal with your emotions. Deal with your emotions. Because when you deal with your emotions in your own setting, in a way that you will not go and spew that out to others. Because you ever come in contact with someone that's having a bad day? Ooh, boy. Someone's having a bad day. You go into an office and that receptionist is having a bad day. Hi, I'm here to see Dr. So and so. I'm here to see so and so. I have an appointment with so and so. What's your name? Oh boy, when you come at me like that, oh my God, Leon, let me tell you. I love Jesus, but boy, when you come at me at that, especially in a professional setting, it turns my brain somewhere, right? It turns my brain somewhere. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful. And then before, I will be like, I'll bark right back. But now I'm like, you know what? That person is dealing with something in their self. Mother P always said, wherever you stump your toe, go back and stump your toe right back there. That's what Mother P would say. Or Mother P is still abusing me, like, you know what? I'm not sleeping with your boyfriend. I'm like, Mother P, like, because usually that's a problem, right? So I've learned now. Someone come at me that way. Okay, you know what? Sometimes I try to kill them with kindness. Oh, I'm here to see so and so. Yeah, my name is so and so. What time is your appointment? Oh, my appointment is so and so. I try. Again, I try because what? Because that person's in their feelings and they're spewing their feelings, what they're dealing with onto me, and they wanna envelope me into their feelings. And you know what? I'm like, nope. I'm not going in that envelope. I'm staying right outside. You can fold it, you can put a stamp on it and mail it. But I'm not doing that. Why? Because they're still beating themselves up about something. There's something that they're beating themselves up about. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful when we're going through something that we don't spew it onto someone else. Because you could mess up someone's day. Did you know that? You can mess up someone's day. I don't like if I'm having a good day, right? I'm having a great day. I'm out. I'm driving, whatever. Oh, perfect example. Mother Peter messed up my bike. But perfect example. Yesterday, right? Apostle laughing because I text her about it. I was like, can you believe this woman? Mother P's like, oh, we gotta go to Brooklyn and pick up our medication, whatever. So I was like, okay. So I was telling her, I was like, this is a busy week for me. The only day I have is Monday, but I have to see what time I'm able to do it, and so on and so forth. It's a little tight. It's a little tight week, but okay, we could try to do it because from here to Brooklyn ain't 5 minutes. Depend on traffic, it's an hour 30. Depends on how you're doing it, So I'm like, okay, no, we're gonna so. Okay, so we get up the next day. Yesterday, for those of you in the New York area, you know that it was raining. It was pouring rain. So Mother P's like, oh, it's raining. It's so pouring raining out here. So we go in the car and she's like, oh, it's I'm pulling out of the driveway and I'm getting ready to go close the gate and I was like, oh, she's like, it's pouring rain. She's like, oh, if I knew it was raining. I was laughing because I was thinking about it. It's like, oh, if I knew it was raining like this all day, I would have tell us let's not go. And I'm like, I don't told you yesterday that it was gonna rain today. I don't told you that this is the only day I have. And I don't told you that I had a tough week before. I been going to bed 3-4 o'clock and then getting up early. So I'm a little tired. Monday I'm trying, and then I have a long night on Monday night. So I'm like, oh, I'm a little tired. And then Mother P's like, and she's like, oh, well, you know what? We don't have to go no more. I said, oh no, now you tripping. I already got up. I got dressed. I'm in this car. I already come out the driveway. No. Now we're gonna go. We're gonna go. And I was like, Mother P trying to test my day today. She's trying to test my day today. But what? I dealt with it. I dealt with it after I told Mother P, no, we're gonna go today. This is the only day I have. You're the one that wanted to come out here today in this rain, so we going. We already in the car, we going, right? So I had to deal with it so that anyone else I come in contact with, I wouldn't spew. And so that when Mother P start telling me old time story, we have a conversation, I'm still mad at you. Mother P know it. I'll be like, I'm still mad at you. I'm still annoyed at what you said. I'm still annoyed at what you did, So you deal with it. So again, you have to deal with what you have to deal with internally. All of these things can begin to spew and simmer internally. Why do you think sometimes people snap at you? That's why. Because they haven't dealt with what they need to deal with internally. They're beating themselves up. And then you're like, oh, you know what? I should have just said I'm not gonna do it. I should have just said I'm not gonna go. I should have just said it's not gonna happen. You have to deal with it. You have to sit down and here, let me throw this real quick. Let's not be super spiritual. Let's pray it away. No, you have to deal with it. Prayer works for everything. We know that. But you have to deal with it. You have to face it. You have to face you. You have to face that angry person that you are. You have to face that lowly person that you are. That person that thinks less of themselves. You have to face that. Yes, prayer works for everything. But if you need to deal with it, if you need to sit down and talk to somebody, go ahead and sit down and talk to somebody. If you need to sit down and say, you know what, this is how this is happening. This is how this is going. This is what's happening. Yes, they're venting. You're venting. Don't vent. I'll be like, don't vent to me. Don't bring your anger on me. I'm like, especially people. I'm like, nope. You need to stop a second. You need to stop a second. You need to think. You need to think about what you're gonna say to me. You need to think about how you're going to say it to me, because we're not doing this today. And that's right, Dr. Dennis. They face it. They face it in the anger. They face it in anger, and that is so true. And sadly, we think of this too. That anger. I'm not trying to stay here long. Anger. The more angry you are, the more that spirit of anger will simmer on you. Yeah, well, we're not going to super spiritualize everything, but yes, the more angry you are, the more that spirit of anger will simmer on you, and then anger will turn into rage, right? And rage will turn into vengeance. Oh yeah, I said it. Anger turns into rage. Rage turns into vengeance. Why do you think someone do something to you, right? You sit there, you simmer about it. You're angry, you're mad, then you get angry. Then it turns into rage. And what happened? You want to do vengeance on them. You want to say something to them to let them feel the same way you felt. You want to scandalize their name. You want to make them look like a bad person. You want to do whatever you need to do to make them feel the same way that they made you feel. Why? Because you're sitting there, you're simmering, your anger turned into rage, your rage turned into vengeance, and what? And you beat yourself up. So you got to retaliate. That's what happens sometimes. So here, ways that you can beat yourself up. Move all the way quick. Ways that you can beat yourself up. For a lot of people, Papa Sharice, you're right. Bitterness. You sit in bitterness. Oh boy, let me tell you, I'm not talking something I don't know. I've been bitter at some people. When I was younger, you could not mention my father's name in a negative way. I don't know the man. I met him like 3 times in my life. But what? You couldn't mention his, and my siblings, they all be like, oh, he was so this, he was so, and I'm looking at them like, why you gotta be all mad at him? Because they experienced him. I never did. So I'm always looking at them like, why y'all always gotta be saying something about it? And you're like, oh, he didn't give us no food. We went there, we ain't got no money. I'm like, why y'all? I used to live in that. Like, why do I always gotta say something negative? I don't know him. I never had an experience with him. So once I lived in that, like, oh, stop saying stuff like that. Until I got a little older and I sat back and I thought about it. Oh my God, he really was a dirty dog, wasn't he? Right? But you sit in bitterness until you process, until you think about it, until you really deal with it. And I was telling Apostle this just today. Today, I think it was on. I said, the older you get, we talk about this a lot in this house. Not for Mother P, because Mother P, right? But the older you get, your thought process started to change. and you begin to evaluate things differently, and you begin to think of things differently. You begin to look at things differently, right? So now you say, okay, no, no, the thing, we always sing the song, the things I used to do, I do them no more. The place I used to go, I go there no more. Why? Because now you start thinking, okay, you know what? No, there's something here that I need to process, and this is why we talk about this, Pastor Teresa. My stop, think, process. It works for me. It may work for others too, because you have to stop and think and process. You have to grow. We talk about growth. There have to be growth in your life. We can't always be thinking like a babe. We can't always be thinking like a new convert. We have to grow. You have to grow spiritually. You have to grow not just like how you see this. I tell the kids all the time, you see this one gray hair, you did it, right? So just like how your hair start changing colors, you're growing. That's maturity. So we have to grow. So one of the things I notice a lot is that a lot of individuals beat themselves up of the grown kids. Not little kids, like grown kids. That's not what I expected of them. That's what you say. That's not what I expected of them. I didn't raise them that way. That's not how I wean them. They know better. They didn't come and Mother P like said it. Mother P love to say, somebody says some, don't go to, if you want the hard truth advice, Mother P will give it to you. Somebody go to Mother P, she be like, well, that's how you raise them. I saw how you was raised. I told you don't do that. I told you don't raise them that way. Or then you go to Mother P on the opposite spectrum, she'd be like, but that's not how you raise them. And as she say, you make your picnic, you don't make their mind. Meaning, you made your kids, you don't make their mind. They think what they want to think. So I find a lot of individual, oh, that's not how I raised them. That's not what I expected of them to be. You know what? You are not them. As parents, I'm not a parent. I'm a godparent. And listen, I love my God kids like they're my own. You hear me? My godson the other day, he goes to school and he's battling with the Muslims, with his friends that are Muslims, and he's asking me these questions, and then I start getting concerned. I was like, oh no, so I'm like, these are scriptures. I give him scriptures and so forth, like, this is what you need to tell him. This is what it is. This is what we believe. This is how we believe. This is, and all these other things I'm giving to him, because I'm like, I'm not gonna allow you to be swept away into that religion. I'm not gonna allow you to be swept away into that thinking of what they're saying, and you're thinking it's right. No, we're gonna stay over here. And I say to him, and I said, you were raised with me, you were weaned with me. So everything that I've imparted to you since you were a baby, now that should spew up in you. You should be able to say, okay, this is why I serve Jesus. This is why I have a relationship with Jesus, because I've already imparted that in you. He's now 15. Going to be 16. I've now imparted that in your life, right? So you should have enough knowledge to say, you know what? No, I'm not going to be converted to your religion, because this is why I believe in Jesus. Same here with parents and their kids. I've already weaned you. I've already put all of this knowledge in you. I already taught you these principles. I already did all of this inside of you. What you do with everything I taught you is now on you. Mother P like to say, when Mother P does this, and I'm talking about Mother P a lot today, right? But when Mother P does this, I wash my hand. That's it. She's done. Because I already did what I need to do. I already said what I need to say. Of course, you're still going to be worried and concerned about your kids. But what you need to understand is, don't beat yourself up for the outcome of what others have become. Don't do it. Don't beat yourself up for the outcome of what others have become. And this is a main thing for a lot of parents. I hear it a lot. I talk to them a lot. It's all about what their kids did and what they shouldn't have done, and what I didn't raise them this way. But they're grown. I'm talking about the grown. Those are 18 or older. You grown. They're grown kids. Don't beat yourself up over that. They're now grown. All the tools you imparted into them, let them go with that, right? So try to stop beating yourself up over that. One more thing that you should try to stop beating yourself up is when you look back at your own life. And this is a big one. This is a big one, Prophet Loretta. When you look back over your own life, and especially for those that did not know the Lord while they were growing up, or they step away at a young age, and now they come back to Christ, they sit back and they're like, oh man, I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have lived that life. Oh, I should have gotten married before I had my first child. Well, it's too late now. That's done. That's done. Oh, I wish I'd never got involved with that man. You did. That's done. I should have never started drinking. You did. That's done. Right? I should have never lived that promiscuous lifestyle. You did. That's done. So you have to try to find ways to stop beating yourself up of what your life was. Keyword, what it was. Say to yourself, I'm not going to beat myself up for what my life was. Because what? You are a new creature now. You're new. What you used to do, you do them no more. As they say, the person you used to dance with, you dance with them no more. Now you have a new partner, it's Jesus. You got a new dance, right? So you need to try to stop beating yourself up of the things that I used to do, and and most of that things that you used to do, you put it falling back on your kids. Or if I didn't used to do this, my child wouldn't think of me that way. If I didn't do it that way, my child would have turned out this way. It's done. What can we do now? Move forward. That's what we can do. We can move forward. Stop doing that. It's done. It happened. It's done. It's gone. Try to forget about it and move forward. These are key words. Try. I never tell people forget about it. No, I don't have amnesia. I'm gonna remember. But try to move forward. Try to forget and try to move forward from it. Here's what Isaiah 43:18 says in the God Word translation. It says it this way: forget what happened in the past and do not dwell on events from long ago. Man, y'all, I'm telling you, as I'm getting old in age, reflection is something, and I'm sure a lot of you, it may be happening to you too. Reflection is something, and I say this a lot. I like to process my day. I lay down in bed at night and I process my day, what I did, what I said, what I maybe shouldn't have said, and I applaud myself for, wow, you handled that situation great. You did that real well. I applaud myself. Applaud yourself for the things that you did great. Applaud yourself from the progress and the process that you have made in life. That's how you stop beating yourself up. So here's what Isaiah 43:18 says. Forget what happened in the past. It's hard, but forget what happened in the past and do not dwell on events from long ago. Don't do it. And this is one of the main tools for stop beating yourself up, forgetting what happened in the past. And you know what? And a lot of things that individuals do in the past is because of a lack of knowledge. A lack of knowledge. But the P, she loved to tell me a story about her grandmother, Pinky Parkwood, who they say I take after, right? She was a warrior, right? Of how poverty was so poor. So she will go, if she's passing by and she see a chicken just walking, she grab that chicken, break its neck, and sting it under her dress to bring it home to feed her kids and her grandkids. What? Yes, it's still stealing. But what poverty drove her to do these things just to put food on the table. So what happened? I'm sure back in her older days, she probably like, man, I can't believe I used to steal it up. No, knowing the stories I hear about Pinky, she probably didn't used to be like I used to do that. But there's so many things that you do because of your lack of knowledge and understanding of how better you are, of the grace of God that's over your life, that you did it because you didn't understand, because you didn't know. So now what happened? You sit down and you're simmering and saying, man, I really shouldn't have done that. I really shouldn't. Forgive yourself. Oh, take a sip. Forgive yourself from it and move far from it, because what again Isaiah said, forget what happened in the past. Forget that man that treated you bad, and you wanna cancel all men and think all men. I can't stand when people say all men are bad. Like one time, this guy, Christian man, and watch my quote, says all women are bees, and I'm like, I'm not a bee. Do you hear me buzzing around? No, So this is why I don't like definite words, So we can't put all in one category. I can't put all fathers in one category because my father was a deadbeat. I can't do that. No. You can't put all men in a category because one man cheated on you or the men that you date cheat on you. No, you can't do that. Likewise, men, you can't put all women in the same category and say they're bees because you think. And then the man went on and said, women are gold diggers. You can't put all women in a category because you choose to date these women that are not good. Come on now. Not all. We're not going to do the definites. We're not all. So you can't see yourself. You can't see yourself. Oh, this is me. I was this. I was. Listen. Some of y'all may have been whoremongers back in the days. Some of y'all may have been great fornicators back in the days. Who knows? Some of y'all may have just lived a clean life all the way through up to now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Some of you don't even tell me your stories. So I don't know. But you cannot let the things that you did in the past hinder your future, block your future, stagnate your future because you're sitting there thinking about the things that I did. You know, the things that I did. Oh, I used to do this. Oh, I used to do that. Well, I'm glad you don't. Move forward now. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. I'm hastening to a close. So I have a few questions for you. I have a few questions for you. Why do you live in the state that you put yourself into? Because no one did it. You're the one that's beating yourself up. Unless you're dealing with a narcissist person that's always blaming you. Pastor and I were talking about that today, about this narcissist individual that they'll do wrong. They're the one that's committing adultery, but they're blaming their spouse and say, "You're the one that made me do this." Whoa, I mean, like this is something else. And then the spouse is crying because they can't believe, oh, it's me. I can't believe I can't believe I was mad at you. And then you stormed out the house and then you went and you committed adultery with somebody else. And then you come back home and then you're blaming me because I'm the one that made you leave the house. That's foolishness. That's nonsensical. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Stop blaming yourself. Why do you live in the state that you live in, that you put yourself in? Because you're the one we talked about this before. Speaking those positive words to yourself. Yes, I'm more than a conqueror. Yes, I'm gonna do it. Yes, I can do all things through Christ. Yes, He has not given me the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna achieve this. You have to speak the positive things over yourself to not put yourself in that state of beating yourself up. Oh, so why do you allow your mind to go back to the past? Don't do it. It cripples you. Why do you allow your mind to go back to the past? And this is sometimes what happened in your silent night, holy night, no. When you're just laying down on the bed and you're processing, you're thinking things through. And what happened? And you go back to 10 years ago and you go back to the past and all of the things that you've done, all of the things that happened in your life, and then you live in regret of what happened in your life, and then you go as far as saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe my life was like this. I can't believe my parents allowed this to happen. I can't believe I had to go through this. I can't believe I'm still living like this. I can't believe I'm at this place right now. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Forget the past. Only remember the good things of the past. Like I always tell Mother P, when she tell me stories and she tell me the good stuff, I love to hear the good story. But when she tells me about the struggle, I need to hear it, but it puts a hurt in my heart. I don't want to hear the struggles. I don't want to hear the not having food. I lived through that, trust me. You don't want to hear the bad things. It's good to have the knowledge and the understanding of why you are and why you appreciate the things now. But then you have to say, you know what? I'm going to have to shuffle that out and I'm going to look to the good things and learn from what happened, right? And final question, why do you beat yourself up? Why do you beat yourself up? Again, unless you're dealing with a narcissist that's next to you. But why do you beat yourself up? It's self-destruction. Absolutely. Self-destruction. Oh, I'm not even, we talked about this when I was teaching the other day on finances. Oh, I'm not going to plant that seed because if I plant that seed, I won't have no money. I won't have more money in my account. So that's me giving away money and I won't have no money. What are you doing? You're canceling out the good in it. You're canceling out the faith. You're canceling out what God can work in it because you're saying negative things. Oh, I know when I go to the doctor and they get back the blood work, they're going to say something is wrong. Oh, I just know it. I know when I go to the court, the judge is going to say, you know what? It's not in your favor. I just know it. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't do that. Stop beating yourself up. I know when I go to the doctor, I'm going to get a praise report. I know I can't wait to call and tell Pastor Marcelle and Apostle about this praise report that's going to happen when I go to the doctor. Oh, I know when I go into that courtroom, God has already went before me. It's going to be in my favor. Oh, yes, I just know it. I just know it. I know when I sow this seed that I will receive a harvest. I just know it. Stop beating yourself up. Speak positive. Come on now, Sister Glover. Speak positively. So, the way you can stop beating yourself up is stop being who you used to be. I'm going to take a sip and then I'm going to say it again. The way you can stop beating yourself up is stop being who you used to be. If you used to be a liar, stop lying. If you used to be malicious, stop being malicious. If you used to be unforgiving, stop being unforgiving. If you used to be a fornicator, stop fornicating. Because what? You are supposed to be a new creature, right? You are now blood washed. Or for those of you that are watching that may not even know the Lord, you better come to know Jesus. Get to know Jesus so that you can stop beating yourself up and stop being the old man. What? Behold, all things are passed away and all things has become new. Right? Because you're a new individual. So you stop beating yourself up when you stop doing the things you used to do. You know that song, the things I used to do, I do them no more? It's a true statement. When you stop doing those things you used to do, you don't beat yourself up. When you stop sitting down and your thought process is still the same, and you move from that same thinking to a new thinking, you shift your thinking, you won't beat yourself up. Because you won't think immorally, you won't think of malice, you won't think of being revengeful or being vindictive. All of these things will come out because what? I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing reactive. Not because they hit me and hit them back. I'm still walking through that Peter stage. You know, when they came for Jesus and Peter took the sword and he ready chopping. I'm still walking through that Peter stage. Sometimes we can be reactive. Sometimes I told you that story before when I was at a car dealer and I called a guy the dog face and I was just I was ready to tear up that whole place because he was telling me nonsense and I had to call a pastor. I was like, you gotta calm me down. She's sleeping. I was like, you gotta calm me down because I'm about to you're gonna see me on the news today. Why? Because sometimes you automatically become reactive. And this is why I always say I get mad at myself when I allow individuals to take me out of my character. Ooh, I'm more mad at myself afterwards, right? So what? So the way that you stop beating yourself up is you stop being who you used to be. And how do we do that? Maturity. There's nothing more what's the word? I can't even find the word. There's nothing more blasé or more annoying when a believer that's been in Christ so long have not matured. And I'm not just talking, again, we're doing holistic. I'm not just talking about spiritual maturity because you can be spiritually on fire for Jesus. You can speak in tongues like angels, right? You can prophesy until the sun go up and down, but your attitude is still nasty, right? So, but I'm still talking about that holistic maturity. Where internally, you know what? I'm not going to react to that. I'm not going to feed into that. I'm not going to say that. I want to say this. This is what I want to say. But I'm not gonna say, you know what I do sometimes if someone texts me if someone texts me something and I want to say something, you know what I do? I'll go in my notes on my phone and I write what I want to say to them. I can't. You have the audacity to speak to me that way, and then you know what? And then I delete it, and then I'll be like, understood, or I say, good afternoon, God bless you. No, if I say God bless you, got to be something real professional. I'm responding to, you know. Because what? Because I'm not going to go back to that place. Because of a lot of you, we talked about this before. The anger, right? The anger, the reactive state that you're in. Don't let people trigger you, Prophet Loretta. That's right. Don't let people trigger you. Okay, so we're finished. So I leave you with this. Colossians 3:9-10. Right? It says this in the God Words translation. Don't lie to each other. You've gotten rid of the person you used to be and the life you used to live. And you've become a new person. This new person is continually renewed in knowledge to be like his creator. That's it. You've gotten rid of the person you used to be. You are a new person. So don't beat yourself up because you're new. You're new in your thinking. You're new in your mannerism. Don't do it. That's Sister Bassett. Don't let people trigger you. Don't. Try not to. Try not to. I know it's hard. Try not to. You deal with it. You work with it. You work with it on your own. Be like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to reflect. And that's it. Right? Because you're a new creature. So stop beating yourself up. You've gotten rid of the old person. You're new. Remember that. The way to stop beating yourself up is stop being the person you used to be. Maturity, growth. You're a new person, right? So I hope I said something that made sense to you. I hope you've learned something. I hope something resonated in your spirit, right? That's enough time. That's all the time we have today. That's all the time we're going to do today, right? I love and appreciate you all. Let me pray for you before you go, Lord. Thank you for your people. Thank you, Lord God, that you will give them the understanding to stop beating themselves up. The things that they may have done, the things they may have said, the way that their kids are, the life that they are in now. Let them not beat themselves up for it, but let them move on from it. They're new creatures. All things are passed away. You making them new. Let them move forward, move on. Let they learn their trigger points and things that will trigger them and push them, and let them step away from it because they're new so they can stop beating themselves up. Thank you for keeping your people. Bless them as always. In Jesus' name, amen. I love and appreciate you all. I will see you all here again next week. Don't forget to like, love, and share. Take the YouTube link and send it to somebody. Love you. See you next week. God bless you. Mwah. Bye now.